called the Northeast.
Whatever. I decided to buy a bike because I wanted to ride a bike to work every day.
Yeah.
But when I go to get my bike and I come out, it's raining. Like,
yeah, that happens. It's
middle
called
of the
weather.
spring, man. Come on now.
Well, it's weather. It's what
the
happens.
middle of the spring.
You grew up in a place where there's no weather. It's just the same.
Yes,
you don't get
that
variety.
Is perfect.
And so here you get variety.
In the middle of the spring, though? Come on now, Al.
Well, you know what?
It's raining.
April showers bring May flowers, okay?
I guess if that's what they say.
All right? So
And
that rain is going to produce something very beautiful in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, it just doesn't make any sense. It's not raining out west.
Just get a poncho. Get those, those gloves
I'm
that
not
you
riding
put
in the
on
rain. I'm not riding in the rain, that's for sure. But it's just the whole point. I made a decision to buy a bike, and then I have to now drive to come to work because I'm going to get rained on, and I didn't want to do that. But then when I leave, it won't be raining.
Right, it'll be beautiful.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's just stupid.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
Stupid.
It's what we all deal with. I mean, I had to walk in the rain.
From the
Improvise. Yeah. If you just throw on a little poncho, you're fine. Throw it over your head, you'll be good.
Wet and everything else.
No? Oh, all right. So that's what we're complaining about today, the weather?
That's not complaining. I'm just explaining that it makes no sense.
Top 5 reasons why Keyshawn hates New York or the Northeast, whatever you call it. where would the variable weather rank?
I would probably say in my top 3 no's. Top 3 no's. That's
top
where
3.
we rank. Yeah, top 3.
So the weather would be one of the things you don't like about New York.
Or the Northeast.
I got to know number 1.
The disrespect of people. The disrespectful people.
We call it honesty.
Blowing the horn when the light turns green right after, as soon as I take my foot off the brake.
Because we got places to go.
Okay, so the fact of the matter is I've gone through this many times here.
Yeah.
The light has turned green. I have now taken my foot off the brake.
Yes.
And getting ready to put my foot on the pedal to go forward.
Right.
But before you even allow me to do that, you lay on the horn to get where? To the next signal that's red? So I'm now side by side. Where did you go that you needed to get there? I'm side by side. We're in the same spot. You did all that to go where?
Well, I just want to make sure you're paying attention. That's all. You never know.
Oh, okay.
It's a friendly reminder. Hey, it's green.
So
Let's go.
I've learned to
giddy up.
So I've learned to just pull over to the side, put my arm out the window, and wave him along. Go ahead, and then catch up to him at the next line. And go, where did you go?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do a transition
My kids
here.
freak out when I do that.
Oh well, because well, by the way, here you never know who you're dealing with and what kind of day they're having, right? So still, speaking of red light, green light, sounds like a green light on moving Julio Jones out of Atlanta, and this is interesting news. Peter King reported this on Sunday. And obviously there's a key date to this whole thing as well. But listen first to Falcons GM Terry Fontenot, who was on Fox 5 in Atlanta. And he makes it sound like it's pretty clear that not only are they potentially listening to offers, that a deal could actually be made. Listen to this.
When you're doing things the right way in an organization, you have to listen if people call. So on any player, and especially we are in a difficult cap situation. That's just a circumstance, and it's not a surprise for us. We knew the circumstance we're in. Our administration has done an excellent job up to this point, getting us in position to be able to manage the cap, and yet we still have more work to do. So when teams call about any players, then we have to listen, and we have to weigh it, and we have to determine what's best for the organization, and we have to handle everything with class. Obviously, that particular player, we hold him in high regard, and he's special, what he's done and what he continues to do here. But we have to consider any players if it's right for the team, because we have to do what's best for this organization.
You hear that last part, Key? That last part is almost that, hey, we're probably going to move him. We have to handle it with class, meaning we'll ask him where he'd like to go, and we'll see if we can work out a deal, get that list of teams. Like, if there's a place you'd want to go, let's do the right thing by you, but we've got to do the right thing by us and make this move. Now, just key here is that if they trade him after June 1st for this cash-strapped team, they save $15 million against the cap. If they trade him before, like, say, draft night, makes no sense, it's a $23 million cap hit. So this isn't something that's going to happen before Thursday, but it is something that I think sounds like could happen at some point this summer.
Look, if it happens this summer, Allen, in June, it's okay. He has an opportunity to now go to a new organization and get up to speed on what the football part of it is. For an organization with Rich McKay has always done right by the players. He basically runs the Atlanta Falcons, although there's a general manager in place. He has a heavy influence since coming over from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers some time ago. When you look at the June 1st date, you have to say to yourself, the draft is coming up. What are the Atlanta Falcons targeting? Let's assume they're targeting Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts to replace the red zone, or not even necessarily the red zone target, because Julio Jones hasn't had the big success in the red zone in his career as people would think. He's not a 150 touchdown catch guy because of his size, but Kyle Pitts could replace the size that you would be missing from Julio Jones. Maybe not the production overall and the type of explosiveness that Julio Jones gives you when he's running the routes, but some of that big body, high pointing, 50-50 ball action if you go get a Kyle Pitts. When you look to why would they wait to June 1st, you explained already. There's a significant cap charge if they do it before June 1st, less cap charge around June 1st. But here's what the key component to that is. Everybody's saying, well, the draft. They don't have to use a 2020 or get a 2021 draft pick to use it. They can get 2022 and be happy with moving Julio Jones because they look at that and go, okay, we could target a receiver or someone to replace to a degree that body, maybe not the production of Julio Jones in the 21 draft, and we can use the 22 pick that we get or 23 pick that we get toward our future.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter as far as the organization goes.
But it's pretty clear that it sounds like the Falcons want to make a move to move forward. And, we'll probably learn on draft night if they do take someone like Pitts where they are at 4, it suddenly turns into, okay, well, that's what they're doing going forward. Like we thought, would they go quarterback here and get Matt Ryan's replacement? I almost feel like now it almost signifies that they probably would go with a skill player at 4 to replace or to actually try to not replace, because it's hard to replace Julio Jones, but just to go forward now with a younger, more manageable cap skill player with Matt Ryan still under contract for a couple more years.
It could be a couple. You could think a couple ways here. If you're the Atlanta Falcons, you can look toward the 2022 draft, the 2023 draft. You can project out. You can start to say, hey, the guy from North Carolina, the quarterback from North Carolina, Spentler Ratliff. Is it Ratliff or I think it's Spentler Ratliff, right? From Oklahoma. Is that how you say his name?
I don't know.
Rattler. Yeah, Rattler. Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma, who seems like he's been at Oklahoma for like 18 years. Mm-hmm. He'll eventually come out. He's probably going to be projected as one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the next year's draft. You got Jalen Daniels from Arizona State. You have Chase Daniels from Georgia. You have USC's quarterback. So you're going to have some QBs to look at for the future. You don't have to get caught up in these 3 or 4 guys that's coming out this year's draft. So you can wait and say, we like Chase, we like Pitts. This is, if they come to us and fall to us, we got them, and we have Matt Ryan for a couple years. Let's start to think in a year or 2 about Matt Ryan's replacement. We don't have to do it in this year's draft.
Right. But might as well then go with the skill player here, especially if you can get one that high up, certainly in the draft. So Julio Jones has averaged 95.5 receiving yards per game during his 10-year career. It's the most in NFL history. Stats incredible. Brought to you by My Computer Career Training for a better life. So, of course, there'll be a lot of suitors for a guy like Julio Jones and his talent. We can certainly, exactly. Let's start talking about.
Hey, this is the Baltimore Ravens. What do you want to talk to me about?
That's definitely one in what they would want to offer for him. What else you got?
Hey, this is the New England Patriots. What are you thinking?
The Patriots.
I mean, it's come on, man.
Yeah.
Last time they had success with a guy like that. The last time they had success with a guy like that was Randy Moss. They went to the Super Bowl. They didn't win it, but they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then he can make your quarterback better, of course. How about the Miami Dolphins? How about
See, if I'm Julio Jones, I don't want to go to the Miami Dolphins. I don't want to go.
Oh, because of the quarterback, young quarterback?
No, they're not quite there.
Yeah.
I'm looking for
now, and it sounds like they are going to. Where do you want to go? We're going to do right by you. That's by the way, Fountain Notes sounded there. We have to do this. We have to handle it right. We got to do it classy. Yeah. That would mean go to the player. We're not going to send you somewhere where you're going to be miserable.
I'm trying to go to San Francisco. I'm trying to go to New England. If I'm him, I'm looking at a Green Bay, but I don't think they would. I don't think they would trade him within the conference.
Yeah, but that
You know, but I'm looking at that if I'm him. Maybe they would. Maybe they so far away from Green Bay, and I don't know the schedule. They probably don't have Green Bay on the schedule, and they're probably so far talent-wise away from Green Bay that they'll never run into them in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
It just depends on what their
I think it's the
process
offer.
is.
I think at this point it's the offer and obviously the ability to get out of the cap hit. All right, a grim forecast for